Hello and welcome to Fulhamish Full-Time. We are here discussing Fulham's 3-2 win at the Cottage over Southampton. My name is Jack Collins and I'm joined by Dom Betts.
Hello, hello.
And Ben Jarman.
Hello, hello.
In Fulhamish's Baslager crew, all repping the brand. Respect. Dom, opening thoughts for the game, please.
It was nice to sort of see us come back and win. We've seen so many times this season when a heads have just completely dropped when the opposition has scored. You look at Huddersfield, just complete opposite today. I mean, they took the lead, but we sort of fought back, got 2-1 in the lead, fought back again, we then go into the lead again. So I think we showed a lot of fight today, something we haven't seen at all this season, really.
Ben, it was a difficult start, I suppose, conceding again. What did you make of the performance in general?
It was good that we showed a lot of fight. It was also nice to see that when we had possession, what little we had, when we had 37% according to BBC, we used it really well. We were nice and compact, and I think instead of dilly-dallying too much with the ball like we have done in recent weeks, that we put it into areas where Southampton can't hurt us anymore, and we've just been more intelligent with our play. I think that's Ranieri all over.
Yeah, of course. Obviously Mitrovic getting 2 goals after a little bit of a barren spell. Is that due more to just Fulham playing better, or because his movement was better, or what do you think?
I think the system that we played today suits him a lot better, really. I think in recent weeks you can argue that he's been very isolated. He hasn't played badly. He's just had no service. He gets the ball. Who's there? Look at Huddersfield game. He has the ball. No one to play him to. Where today, I think there was players playing off him, which helps him a lot more. Obviously, he's been very, very confident after the great international break he had. Apart from his awful attempt at a Panenka.
We won't talk about the
like that's not allowed. But yeah, I think he's a lot more confident. And if we are going to stay up, it's going to be down a lot to Mitrovic's goal scoring.
Tom Kearney much further forward today.
Yeah,
something that was very pleasing to see, and he was almost off Mitrovic for large swathes of the game. What did you make of his performance?
This is a Tom Kearney we've never seen before, I don't think. A Tom Kearney that really worked hard for the team. He fed off of scraps and really grew into the game. The second half of this game was probably the best I've seen him all season. He drove forward with real purpose. He got around Mitro. He gave the team some impetus, and he used the ball really well. You saw after he got taken up by Højbjerg, the pattern of play after that he was at the forefront of was just incredible. Like, he really took the team on his shoulders, and even though he wasn't wearing the captain's armband out there today, it looked like he really was a leader.
In terms of how you thought that Fulham worked today and the Ranieri system, there was a lot of long ball, but actually most of our good attacking play came from getting the ball down on the deck and playing it the way that we've kind of become used to. Is that just a symptom of the fact that Fulham are best at getting the ball on the floor rather than feeding off scraps?
I think we just played in a more effective system today instead of some sort of stubborn, let's stick to my principles sort of system. I think Ranieri is obviously going to change the system to what he thinks is best. And today, again, everyone was like, oh, what's he going to play? 4-4-2, 4-3-3. He pretty much played the same team we've been playing, but played him in the same players, but it's in a system that suits players more, I think. And I think today it showed that, I'm not saying Slav's like a bad manager or anything like that, but I think it showed there was improvement to be made, and the players are good. I mean, we still look dodgy at the back, which we know is going to happen anyway, because, I mean, hopefully Joe Bryan becomes fit in recent weeks, and I would probably want to see Maxime Marshall come in for Dennis Odoi at the back with Bryan out wide. But I think, yeah, we just played a much more effective system today. As Ben said, only 37% possession, but we're getting the 3 points, I couldn't care less.
We were expecting a more counter-attacking system, and I think that's kind of what we saw over the course of a lot of today.
Yeah, I mean, counter-attacking with the players, we've got quick players. It's not like we can't play a counter-attacking system. And in the Premier League, when you're a team who's been promoted, you're more likely going to be effective playing on the break.
Let's talk a little bit, take the shine off a touch. We weren't great. You know, we did the exact what we needed, and we got the points. But ultimately, it wasn't a vintage for the performance by any stretch of the imagination.
No. There were huge facets of our game that really need improving on. I think both of the goals were preventable, especially the second one. Seri lets his player go, has no intention of getting anywhere near the ball for the shot. I do think that there needs to be some serious organisation in there, and it needs to be down. I think we'll start to see players like Callum Chambers, Mawson and Rico start to play an even bigger role in our season going forward than they did today, because all 3 of them were outstanding. But it's around them, especially in the wide areas, especially coming from Andre Schürrle, is where a lot of problems seem to be coming from.
Yeah, but Ben, if Bettinelli played, we would have kept clean sheets. So.
I wanted to talk about Chambers. I wanted to talk about Chambers a little bit more. I thought he was exceptional, except when he had the ball.
No, except when he had the ball and was passing the ball. Like if we're in a pure clean-up role, and just potentially just lay it off 2 yards to someone else, he'll be absolutely fine. But if we're relying on him to, spread the ball wide, for example, I think we're in a bit of trouble. But coming back to Dom's style of play point, it was really nice to see us being quite direct, quite early, instead of being stubborn and passing the ball around in front of a team that's already set up to try and stifle us. We sort of put them on the back foot a couple of times.
A lot of us here are football purists, and we were a bit worried about what happened when Slavisa went, and we kind of didn't adopt that Cruyffian method. But it was nice to see us going direct a lot of the time without necessarily having to be long ball.
Yeah, no, it was also it was nice to see our defence not try to play at the back when we know they're absolute toilet. Like to put it like as much as we've loved to see us play at the back, right? If the defence is absolute toilet, right, you don't want to feel scared every time they got the ball. I mean, I compare it to the first 20 minutes in Croatia game. Whenever Pickford got the ball, I was like, mate, please just clear it.
No, I feel like that way about Rico. If Bettinelli or Fabry got the ball, I'd feel quite scared. In the same way that if Odoi gets the ball, I still feel quite scared. But with Mawson and Rico in there, I feel much more comfortable.
It's strange today how better Mawson looked.
Yeah.
In this new system.
I think it's the leadership quality that brings out the best in Mawson, because he was by far and away our best defender out there, and he was the only one giving some instruction, the only one winning stuff consistently in the air.
I don't know if it's a good or bad thing in terms of how Seri's been recently, but I thought he was much improved today despite the fact that he wasn't brilliant.
Yeah, well, considering the fact that he wasn't great today, it shows how bad he was in previous games. I thought he looked quite off the pace for large periods of the game and just seemed to be given the runaround by bigger and stronger midfilders in Lamina and Højbjerg. And Lamina was untouchable today for a large part out there. He was really good.
That's kind of
we made him look good though, gave him too much space.
Maybe. Nathan Redmond had a bit of run of the park at points. He is a very, very good footballer, but we are playing Eden Hazard next week. Does that worry you?
I think, Ranieri, we're not going to play the same way we did today next week. So no one knows how we're going to set up next week. I'd argue, with the players you've got, you'd argue the system we're playing now is the most ideal for that. But if he wants to hold it up in midfield and wants to switch to a two-strike formation in a 4-4-2, there's no reason why you can't have. I don't know where Vieta was today, but I'd argue he's probably the most effective off Mitrovic. And then you could have Cess on the left, Cabano, Sachaite on the right-hand side.
If we play a 4-4-2, we're going to have to completely change the midfield because Kearney isn't set to play.
Yeah, no, that's the problem if you're going to switch to that. Kearney doesn't fit into the system.
Well, no one does. As in, the only player that can play in a 4-4-2 is probably Callum Chambers.
Exactly. I'd say argue Callum Chambers and hopefully Anguissa's back fit, because I think Seri's off the ball at the moment. I thought he was poor again today. I don't think he offered anything. I think he's not been good since Brighton. Brighton is the last time we've seen a good footballer out of him. Since then, he's not been better than any other midfielder, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. But I think what we can expect of Ranieri is not going to be like Slav. We're not going to see the same system, the same players playing every week. Well, Slav didn't play the same players every week, but the same system.
Every week.
Yeah, the same system is not going to be deployed week in, week out, which is nice to see. I want to see a manager who's going to adapt our team to the team we're playing. That's what you've got to do as a manager. You can't just play the same system and hope it works. Like you've downloaded a tactic of a football manager for him and I'll whack it in, plug and play, hope it works. No, you've got to adapt it to who you're playing.
Yeah, of course. Ben, what are the massive positives going forward and what would you say are the negatives?
The negatives are quite obvious in the fact that Southampton at times could play through the whole team with one pass. We found ourselves quite exposed in wide areas. The positives are the resilience that we showed, the fact that we're getting more direct, the fact that we're getting more people in around Mitrovic. Two main positives for me are Alfie Mawson and Sergio Rico.
Tom, same question.
My positive was Cabano's made it back onto the bench. To be perfectly frank, great to see him back. No, I think.
And my negative was that Kamara made it back onto the bench and onto the pitch. I actually thought.
Back as well.
Kamara. I was very sceptical when Kamara came on. I actually thought he did all right.
No, but I think if you're playing in the way that Ranieri likes to play, Kamara isn't the worst option in the world. Because you're going to have players sitting back so deep, you need someone with that raw pace. I know once he gets through on goal, he's going to do nothing. Because he's got no technical ability whatsoever.
He'll probably fall over.
Yeah, and he's just going to dive any 5 seconds, we know that. But I think,
he did send Nathan Redmond back to the shops.
Effective in the way we played.
Yes.
37% possession, when was the last time we saw that sort of statistic in a home game, let's say? But when we had the ball and we got it forward, we looked like we were going to create a chance.
The passing for the second goal is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
They go up the pitch into wide areas and really test them, and the ball from Cess is unreal.
That's under 2 weeks with Ranieri? Less. Do you think we grow?
If you're looking at Sessegnon, he's been with Ranieri 3 days.
So we can only grow from here?
Yeah, and
We can only grow from here after more time with Ranieri.
And I think what you got to look at is obviously our away. We got a very good tough run of away games. Obviously, three of our next 4 away games are Chelsea, United, and Arsenal, with Newcastle sandwiched in between, which is a huge game. But we've got so many big home games. Obviously, we got West Ham, we've got Leicester, we've got Huddersfield, we've got Wolves, all before the new year. Yes, Wolves have played well this season. So have Leicester, West Ham at times, but they're not against any of the top 6. So you've got to be getting at least a minimum point in. You can't lose any of those games.
Right. You can't lose, right? So you want Ranieri unbeaten till New Year at home?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
fair enough. I think that's a big ask.
I think it is, but we're not playing a big 6 side. I mean, I know we weren't exactly great today, but that's with less than a week of training. Because yes, he's come in, but a lot of our key players have been away on international duty. There's no him in Cisse today, which is quite disappointing.
Yeah, well, he's obviously been away with Guinea, so he's going to take time to enforce his way into the side.
Cisse double pivot is coming.
Ben, final thoughts before we close this off?
Just so glad we got a win.
Tom?
Yeah, 3 points. I don't care how it comes. 3 points in the bag.
Well, that is 3 points. It's been Fulham 3, Southampton 2. We've been the Fulhamish Baslager crew. We're here at the Old Suffolk Punch on Fulham Palace Road, where we are most games. We'll be here before Chelsea and after every home game this season doing full time. Thanks for watching. I've been Jack Collins. It's been Don Betts.
Yeah.
It's been Ben Jarman.
Cheers.
We're Fulhamish. Thanks very much. Take care. Subscribe down there.
Boom.